being in alignment with who you are is all that matters. And in fact, what we've noticed is that if you're not in alignment with who you are, then anything that you say or do is not really appreciated by anyone. So when someone, let's say your partner or anyone, when someone holds you as their object of attention and they like you in that moment, feels so good to you because in their appreciation of you, they're tuned in, tapped in, turned on to source energy and flooding it all over you. And so it feels really good. But now, in order to keep that up, they have to give you their undivided attention and so on. And we like to say, most people are looking for love in all the wrong places. Because as you're wanting to be appealing to, say, your partner, and often you can't, and it's not because you're not appealing, and it's not because what you're saying or doing is wrong. It's because the other person is not in alignment. Now we're going to lay it on your partner. If someone is disapproving of you, it is their problem, not yours. It feels like it's your problem because what they're saying to you is, when you behave this way, I like it. Or if you say these things, I like it. But when you behave that way, I don't like it. And so what that means to them is they're living a very conditional love, meaning you've got to behave in all these ways so that I can feel better. There are a lot of people who work very hard to be that kind of a partner. So many people who are having trouble in relationships now have partners who had other people who were willing to jump through hoops for them. In other words, if someone really does believe that their happiness depends upon your behavior, then they're trying to train you all the time into behavior that makes them happy. They're not happy because they need you to be different. You try to be different and now you're not happy because you don't feel free. You can't change in enough ways to make them happy, so they're never happy no matter what you do. You're not happy because you're not free, and then you say, what's wrong with this relationship? And we say, you're looking for love in all the wrong places. So through life, you become more than you are in your physical form. And closing this gap is the only thing that will ever make you feel good. It's true for you. It's true for your partner. It's true for everyone. So if someone says, I want to be happy, but I can't be happy under these conditions, you've got to change. They have no control over you changing, even though they try. They believe that their happiness is dependent upon what you do. You can't do enough to really bring them into alignment, because the reason that they're not happy isn't because they're observing bad behavior or hearing bad things coming from you. It's because they're not in alignment with who they are. So they're making you the reason that they don't feel good. And there's not enough that you can do to make them feel good. So back to your question, what can you do when this is happening? The only thing that you could ever do that would in the long term make another person happy is to find a way to get into alignment yourself, which means you got to be happy even when your partner is saying that she's not happy. In fact, we'll take it further. You've got to find a way to be happy even when your partner is not happy and blaming you as the reason for not being happy. You know that you have achieved the art of allowing when you're able to allow another who's not allowing you. Then you've got it. But otherwise, if you try to cater to another's weakness, and we mean that in the fullest sense of the word, if another needs you to change for them to be happy, then they'll need somebody else to change and somebody else to change and somebody else to change. In other words, the whole world needs to be different so that I can be happy. The greatest gift that you can give anyone is to find a way to be happy yourself and stubbornly hold the position that if they are going to be happy, it's going to be their inside job that accomplishes it. Because if you make the effort to make another happy, you've signed on for a really long contract of never minding anything that you want and jumping through hoops for the other one. Everyone wants to feel good, and when you don't feel good at every level of your being, you know something is wrong. So when you see someone behaving in a way, and in the moment of their behavior, you don't like it, for whatever reason, you could put any label on it. You feel angry, you feel frustrated, you feel lonely, you feel abandoned, you feel not cared for, you could put any emotion on it, but let's say for whatever reason, you're looking at someone, and while you're looking at them, something they're saying or doing, you don't feel good. So in that contrasting experience, in knowing what you don't want, even if you can't articulate it clearly, what you do want is going into your escrow. So because of that relationship just now, you expanded. In this case, let's say your partner expanded to a new and improved place regarding relationship. Whatever she thinks is going wrong made what she really wants more emphatic. It's the same way of saying, when you're sick, vibrationally you become weller. If you don't have enough money, vibrationally you become richer. If something's going screwy in your relationship becomes better. It's just the way the contrast works in terms of vibration that precedes it. So her relationship with you gets better in those hard times, but instead of turning and looking toward it, we talked about this earlier, instead, she's like most everybody, she's looking at the very thing that caused her expansion. She's looking at the lack of what she wants, which caused her expansion, and now using the lack of what she wants as her excuse to not take her expansion. That's why it feels so uncomfortable. So a relationship that is sort of rocky is really a fast-moving relationship. If you've got a relationship that's hard for you to keep your balance in, what it means is the contrast is serving you both very well because it's causing you to expand. But if either of you, and usually both of you, are holding the now personalities and behavior of one another as your object of attention and using that as your excuse not to expand, so the way we like to tell that is when someone causes you to expand and then you look at them as they are and use the very person and behavior that caused you to expand as your excuse not to take the expansion, you're extra mad at them. You see, and that's what's going on. And almost everybody does it. So then you start reframing it. You could say to someone when you're really mad she could say to you as she's really mad at you, "Hey, you made me grow, and now the way you're behaving is keeping me from getting to have the growth you made me grow." Because that's really a clear way of saying it. And then you could say, "Yeah, I know. And it's not my job to transform before your eyes. In fact, I can't even do it. You got to look at what we created together. Let that become your dominant vibration. And then, honey, I'll become it, and I'll become it fast. But under these conditions, I cannot."